Can you see it? It was 68. 67. I actually had this at 69. So the camper is holding its own. Where's the pups? I let the pups out quite a while ago. I think the wife or kid let out the dogs as well. Yeah, they're all the way down there. So it's all about the puppies this morning. I hope somebody's watching them, because I let them out earlier. Hey, good morning there. Good. What is today? Wednesday? I can't even think clearly here. Wednesday morning. Good Wednesday morning there. Here comes the pack. Look at this here. Look at these dogs. Look how big they're getting. Just incredible. Truly incredible on how the puppies are growing up so quickly. We'll never get that back. And it's cold. It's not rocket cold, but I have a cold. I definitely am getting sick. Probably from me just being outside too much. So I'm definitely got something going on. So it's not good. But, you know, life goes on. Who's to know that story? So I said these guys, you know, probably kind of smart. I would go feed them now and keep them out of the house. But am I that smart? No, I'm not. But yeah, I let these guys out. First time last night, only one of them went to the bathroom. And actually, they didn't get up middle of the night. So, first time yet, only one of them pooped in the camper. And then they must have done that when I didn't realize it. Because once I went to bed, they never got out of the bed again. So it's early morning. That's why I let them out early. Because I didn't want them to go to the bathroom. All right, here we go. I wonder who let them out. Probably a kid. So there you go, pups. Here goes the craziness right now. All right. Let's turn off the video so the wife doesn't get upset. Hey, let's go. Come on. Come on, Bree. Get out of here. Is everybody present? I don't even know. Shop disappeared. No, we're Tango disappeared. Tango's probably in the back room. There's German Shepherd. Oh, there's Tango. I can't keep track, man. Oh my gosh. No, let's go. Come on. Get out of here. So, come on, pup. Come on. Let's go. Come on. Let's get out. Hey, Will. Come on, buddy. Wow. Yeah, the cold winter continues on. Come on, pups. Let's go. Come on. Let's get over here to the barn. Figure out how I'm going to maneuver getting the barn doors open, holding my coffee and my phone, and yeah. And do I feel like crap? Yeah, I feel like crap. You know, this cold weather just gets into you, man. And having responsibility to take care of your dogs. It's not like you can sit in the house all day long. So, and then I'm chasing them around on my four-wheeler, just inhaling all that extremely cold air. But, oh well, you create your own demise in life, right? So, got that going. See if he's smart enough to not get it too far open and, come on, pups. All right, pups, let's go. Come on. Woo! Haven't fallen yet. You know, that's what I talk about all the time. You can't be old and live up in the snowy areas. If you do, you're going to have to be in a controlled environment. So, I wonder if the water is all frozen over yet again. So, come on, pups. That's the routine. They know. Yesterday, I just spent time just walking around, figuring out which tags or which to renew. That's a whole other project. Come on, pups. Turn that up. It just doesn't end, does it? All right, come on. Let's go. Come on. You guys get in. Oh, I'm going to close the barn doors. Go on, get in, Tang. Come on. Go, 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 go. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. Get in there. Now get the barn doors closed so they trap everybody. Come here. Here, Prince. Prince, don't do that. Prince! Prince, don't do that. Just don't. Where's Gypsy? I don't want to chase you guys around. So I'm not going to sit down here and freeze my ass off because of, that's just not the right thing to do. Because I've gotten sick. That's the reality. But, oh well. Who doesn't get sick in the winter, right? All right, so here we are. Get the dogs their food. Ah, stop it. Don't do that. Oh, no. Don't do this. Don't take... How'd that get down there? All right, let's see. Come on, I can't open that. Can't open this with you guys doing what you're doing. And as you guys pound down the food, come on, here's one bowl for you guys all to play with, and then here's another bowl. It's so funny. Oh, they took that's what's going on. They took that stick, which I don't want you taking that because you're gonna shred it up. Watch out. There you go. Okay. Yep. There you go. Everybody. Musical bowls. Come on. Stop it. All right. There you go. There's another bowl. Let's try to get the bowls all see we can separate. Another problem. So you got 4 bowls down, right? Now somebody's calling me. Who's calling me? Yeah, that's a customer. I'll talk to him later. So here we are in the adventures of yet another day of the cold-ass weather, which it is. Cold as hell. And what happens when you hang out in the cold all the time? Yeah, you probably get sick. So what are we going to do today? Who the hell knows? I tell you, yesterday, with Trump being in office, it is entertaining. It's incredible how Joe Biden truly, there was just nothing there. And I know there's people on my channel that don't like talking politics, but I don't care. It's my channel. Create your own channel if you're not happy with what I say. And then let me listen to your views of the world. So no offense, but it's my channel, so I get to say what I want to say, which within reason of Google not banning it. But the point is, with Joe Biden, it was so boring. That guy is so boring. It's so lame. And I do get a kick out of people out there that truly believe that Joe Biden was the mastermind of everything he did. It blows me away that people actually don't believe that Barack Obama was behind the scenes running the show. It just blows you away that people are like, no way. There's a Joe Biden, that guy, there's no way. There's nothing there. In the media machine, so screened that guy, the curtain. I mean, that guy just wasn't around. I mean, Donald Trump brings so much energy and excitement. It's a whole different ballgame. I mean, it's just radically different on how Donald Trump brings the presidency to what is really very entertaining and intriguing and to watch. It's just incredible. Joe Biden doesn't have that talent. I mean, so anybody out there that's calling me out saying that I'm delusional and it's the conspiracy theories that Joe Biden ran the show and Barack Obama had nothing to do with it. Well, you do know Barack Obama just lives a few blocks from the White House. Now, what former sitting president moved back to D.C.? Nobody. Why did he do that? We all know why he did that. Why did the media never show you all the people that went out of his house? Because the media shadowed him on everything. That's reality. So for anybody here thinking I'm delusional, no, you're delusional. You're living in a fantasy world. Did not believe that Barack Obama has been part of the administration with Joe Biden. He was his vice president for 2 terms. They had a personal business relationship and political relationship. Hello, but I'm not going to go on and on about that. Really, what I really want to talk about more about is how Donald Trump is all over this generative pre-trained transformer, a.k.a. ChatGPT, a.k.a. OpenAI. It's incredible on how it's going on in front of our eyes. And I talked about this so much on my channel. And that's what cracks me up. I have so many videos on my channel, you can't follow it. Because it cracks me up when others make comments about how I don't have a very informative channel. And it's like, what are you talking about? I have broken down so much information about the Inflation Reduction Act, the Chips and Science Act, AKA the Green Agenda, the electric vehicles, the batteries, the infrastructure, the elements of the world that you need to make the batteries, where they are, what China's doing. And then when the generative pre-trained transformer came along, when they opened it back up, and I think November of 2022, and they had shut it down in 2020, I think, because it started getting out of control. And so it's all the artificial intelligence. And I talked about in great length about how you have the CPU versus the GPU, and that now the next generation of artificial intelligence is artificial general intelligence, which that then turns into the possibility of the artificial intelligence thinking like a human does. We're not there yet. I talked in great length about that from a French professor who's the key guy that runs Meta and engineered and developed Meta. He's in his 60s. I mean, that just cracks me up and how some people are like, oh, you know, it's like, but yet I get a personal email from a select few people that watch my channel and say they're so impressed with my information and knowledge that they just love my channel and don't give up. So for yesterday to see Sam Altman, to see Larry Orson, and what's that, Masa Son, the SoftBank investor. So you've got Oracle, you've got OpenAI, and you've got SoftBank that are now partnering together to build the biggest infrastructure to date in Texas. The beginning model is in Texas to really expand the artificial intelligence at a faster, more rapid pace. And I even talked about this a while back. How Sam Altman was downtown pounding his fist about how the infrastructure of getting permits for building out electricity and building out basically energy to power these data centers takes forever. And he was screaming bloody murder downtown, not really, but he was downtown actively, aggressively trying to negotiate these legislature to force the states to move quicker on passing permits to allow this big energy influx to be developed to support the artificial intelligence, because this artificial intelligence, one data center can be using as much energy as a whole city can. So the challenge is not only of the build out, the infrastructure, but the challenge is getting the permits and the people to lay down the resistance from new technology and new electricity or new renewable energy or whatever you want to call being brought to their own backyard to enable artificial intelligence to grow. And it's going to take massive investment. So it's interesting. The Mr. Son of SoftBank had a hard conversation with Donald Trump before he was elected, and not knowing whether he gets the election won or not. But the point is, he met with Donald Trump, and he talked in great length about this investment. And yesterday, he personally looked at Donald Trump on this late afternoon news conference from the White House, where he was looking at Donald Trump numerous times, talking to him more directly than the actual people there at the White House and the people watching TV, the camera. He talked to Donald Trump in so many ways, like he was just thanking him, and really was excited that this administration is really going to push this even harder. And that's what they're saying, is that for Donald Trump, he's aligned himself up with all the big tech guys. You're looking at Elon Musk, which is now his what's it, Doji, is what they call it, the Department of Government Efficiency, that's his key advisor, the guy that's overseeing it. It's been written in executive order. It's the real deal. People bitching about how Elon Musk can't come in and take their job away from him. Well, so sad, so sorry. It's going to happen. It's some radical stuff's getting probably ready to happen in the federal government. Maybe, maybe not, because you got a union to sue the government and blah, blah, blah. They're going to sue themselves. That's where it's all going, because it's really happening. I read an article this morning about how already it's happening. How already federal employees are already being given notice that you have to come back to work, and already certain positions and agencies have already been shut down. So it's already happening like instantly. I mean, faster than I thought. And then it's already being talked about how so many people moved out of the D.C. area thinking they would have the forever remote working job. So guess what? You got to move back to D.C. to have your job. So there's going to be some pretty big things going on. And what Elon Musk said a while back was they can only hope that maybe a third to half the people just quit, because they feel there's so many people who just have positions and jobs that don't do much of anything besides just collect a guaranteed check every week from the federal government. I tell you what, I've been around business a long time. I've always have said in my life that the typical work hours for many businesses, people actually work 20 hours a week. They have to sit around for 40 hours a week, but only put 20 hours in. I have personal friends that I know of that have people they know of that they don't do anything all day. They don't. They just sit around waiting for another meeting. And that's all it is. A meeting, and then another meeting, yet another meeting. And I'm not here to be disrespectful to anybody that has a job in the federal government, but I'm just telling you, it goes on. It's just so it's going to be very interesting. But back to Donald Trump and this energy infrastructure, once again, he's surrounded himself with Elon Musk, Larry Ellison from Oracle. He's got Jeff Bezos on his surround. I mean, he's got all these high-tech, high-powered, very intelligent, very successful people that are standing side by side with Donald Trump. So for all those naysayers out there that think Donald Trump's a dumbass and he doesn't know what the hell he's doing, then why are all these big guys? I mean, I get the gist where you want to hang out with a guy that gets something for you and I get something for me, whatever it may be. But at the same time, why is Elon Musk, the most successful guy in the world, the richest guy in the world, buddying up with Donald Trump if the guy's a total moron, a convict, and everything else? And I get it. I get that Elon Musk wants something out of Donald Trump. He wants something out of this government. He wants power. But at the same time, he could have pushed Joe Biden for Kamala Harris. He could have very easily pushed Kamala Harris through his X platform of telling everybody that she's the correct answer. The policies that Joe Biden put in place with Barack Obama were the better transition of this country, blah, 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 blah. But all the guys with all the big money, per se, they didn't show up, per se. I mean, they did, but they didn't. Yeah, where's George Soros, right? So once again, Donald Trump in office right now, to me, it's such a more exciting time in our country. But at the same time, I think to myself, how many people voted for this guy that may just vote themselves out of a job? Wow, let me get my coffee here. What do you see, puppies? I haven't had one drink of coffee yet. So this is right now my first drink of coffee for the morning to get going. And I took some Alka-Seltzer to hopefully get me unclogged. I'm all congested up and hacking and coughing. So far I haven't done doing that. But I woke up this morning with a really bad sore throat and just feeling groggy and like, being out here cold because we hang out here. We hang out here all the time. You watch my channel, watch my videos, you'll see we're out here on a regular basis. And it's all about the dogs. You just can't, I would not buy these many dogs and then just go sit in my house all day. And I tell you what, I know so many people that have big-ass dogs that all they do is cage them and throw them in their house, and that's all they do. I mean, the dogs are caged all day long. I mean, are you kidding me? Why have dogs? I mean, just don't have dogs then. I mean, get yourself a Pomeranian, whatever. Get a little miniature dog. But I know people have big-ass dogs, but they can't handle them. That's the reality. They can't handle the big dogs, so they just cage them. And then, what a life, right? What a waste. What a waste. So once again, with the Donald Trump in presidency, I can only imagine so many people that voted him are now, if you're a federal employee that was all hell-bent on Donald Trump coming in office, yet now you're being told your remote work days are over. You know, and I tell you straight up, I'm surprised Elon Musk hasn't pushed that the different direction because it really is a waste. Where the infrastructure today is more than ever, people can remotely work from home and do their jobs, I think, just as efficient or more efficient than being in the office. And sure, there's always going to be the cheater system out there. But the point is, I'm very surprised that Elon Musk didn't really push harder on Donald Trump to technology, where everything's going. Artificial intelligence, the data centers being built out, the whole internet being built out. All, to Stargate what is it called? Stargate or Starlink, whatever it's called. That the new massive development of the infrastructure that Orson and Sun and Sam Altman. It was interesting to see Sam Altman present himself yesterday, and he just isn't the most dynamic speaker in the world. That's for damn sure. He had to turn it over to Larry Orson to kind of explain what's going to come to be. And there was an article about him, a personal interview of Sam Altman talking about Trump and Elon Musk and talking about his adventures of being the CEO of OpenAI and Microsoft and Bill Gates being the big backers of all the money, and how he was terminated, then he was brought back, and then key board members, key founders of OpenAI from 2015 president, they resigned and left, and then the relationship with Elon Musk. Elon Musk is personally suing him, which is interesting to see that relationship. Now he's next to Trump, and so, but the point here is, it's just interesting to see the characters that are pushing this OpenAI, that are going to truly create a whole different dimension of how things are done in the future. They're claiming this huge medical advances that'll take place, blah, 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 blah. You know, you can talk all day long about that. But for Donald Trump, he's there pushing this with them, and it's going to be very intriguing to see if he's able to get the states to jump on board, where all these data centers want bigger infrastructure of energy, and do the localities bend to the rules of the federal government. So I think it's going to kind of get a little dirty, and it'll be a little bit more challenging just on that side of it. I think they'll pull it off in Texas, but it's like this area I live in, there's already major argument of infrastructure, electricity, just in my own backyard, that people are resisting of Dominion Electric building out a much bigger infrastructure to allow these data centers to continue to be built and to be able to bring the energy to them. And it's, once again, in my own backyard, there's many people are objecting to the way they're trying to do all this stuff. So I think it'll go the same way. But for Donald Trump, he brings the energy, he brings excitement, and for you as an individual, if you voted him in, and as I was saying a moment ago, back to Elon Musk, pushing on how I'm surprised they didn't take the position. It's time to change the bureaucracy of D.C. It's time to get out of D.C. of the money grab, the money hold of the nation, and force the hand that the remote working can work, and to abandon these buildings, sell these buildings, because that's what the big argument right now is that the federal government owns all these I guess they own or lease or whatever it may be, all these big buildings downtown. They're, for the most part, they're empty. There's nobody going to work anymore in the federal government, and that's a fact. And so I'm surprised that the better position in my world would be we sell all the buildings. They cash out all those buildings, or they lease them out to other businesses or whatever it may be, and you really do downsize the federal government's footprint in this area, and then you do let people remotely work throughout the country, and you just kind of disperse this constant money grab right in the D.C. area that has incredible wealth because of just the whole bureaucracy and the infrastructure. So I'm very surprised that with Elon Musk wanting to be the head of the Department of Government Efficiency, that wouldn't be his first chopping block. So it's kind of ironic, because the Elon Musk position is, people don't work when they're at home, and it's not right, and you got to come to work. But wow, I mean, can you even imagine right now? We're going back to March, the end of February, 1st of March of 2020. You're now going 5 years ago that people were sent home to remotely work. So it's now half a decade of a lifestyle that you as an individual, as a federal employee, have had the luxury of not having to drive to work anymore, not having to fight the tolls, fight the traffic, pay pay for gas, pay for toll road money in my area, pay for parking. You get lazy, you don't take a lunch, you pay more money for lunch. I mean, the amount of money that these people save, I said this years ago on my YouTube channel, was you're talking people saving $10,000 or $20,000 a year easily between transportation costs, car payments. I know there's numerous people out there that had multiple cars and they sold them because they didn't need all these cars anymore because they weren't driving back and forth to work. And so you think to yourself, wow, these individuals here in my area, and there's like, I guess 300,000 federal employees, I think, in the metropolitan DC metro area. I think I could be wrong on that number. But the whole point is that, wow, 5 years of the lifestyle of being at home, and now you're being told you have to go back to the way it used to be. I just don't know how you could do it. I honestly do not know. It's just like me. I've been self-employed for 30 years. I've been self-employed for 30 years. And for me to think I could go work somewhere where somebody's going to tell me what to do, what I can or can't do, and it would be so challenging for me at the age of my life, because I've been blessed to be able to create my own income and my own monies. And I haven't had somebody else to tell me per se what to do, what I can and can't do. In some ways, it probably would have been better that somebody did. But the whole point is, can you even imagine right now you're a federal employee and now you have to face reality? You're going to have to go back to the office 5 days a week. When in your world, you accomplish the exact same thing sitting at your house. But now, because of in me, archaic structure, you're going to go back to the old ways. But I understand the gist of this, and that is because you've got like Donald Trump that has friends that are in the commercial real estate business. I talked about this yesterday. So to me, only thing I can figure out about that sector of that is that it's all about the real estate market. It's all about trying to keep the real estate market in these cities still alive, where they're all suffering. It's all about the tax money, the tax revenues that are driven back to the city. It's all about the businesses that come back to life in the city that used to support all the employees of federal workers. And the list goes on and on and on. So the whole infrastructure, I'm in the gas station business industry. So the reality is we'll see an uptick of business. So now reality for me, this is probably a blessing in so many ways, and it's a curse at the same time, because the roadways are already packed. The roadways are already a joke. So the roadways are going to even get worse and go back to the old days where it's just brutal to get around here. But at the same time, if you're in the gas station business, you're going to be excited because more people now have to drive back and forth to work, and it has to go back to good old days where you saw the same person pulling your gas station 2 times, 3 times a week versus you saw that same person now pulling your gas station 1 time or twice a month. That's where it all went. And these are real statistics. I saw in my business a solid 30%, footprint traffic down. Solid. Some businesses saw 50% of the foot traffic gone because of the remote working so big in this area. So I'm literally right in the backyard of the Donald Trump's policies, which is going to be so interesting to see of how this starts to play out. And then do half the people resign? Where does this go? It's going to be very interesting. And what is the deadline? Is it February 1st? The tariffs for Canada and Mexico, the 25% tariff for Canada and Mexico is February 1st. Already, major corporations are scrambling behind the closed doors on how they're going to address this 25% tariff. Like 3M's already talking about how they do have a lot of flexibility of a lot of their stuff they make. And a lot of the stuff is in this country, a lot of it's in Mexico and Canada, but they feel pretty confident they can maneuver things around where that won't have that big an impact. But I think it's going to be Donald Trump pushing things. But in the end, I think that Canada and Mexico will probably come to the table and try to resolve this once it starts to have an impact on their country. That's it. I got to shut up because I can talk all day long. But once again, wow, we're getting ready to witness, I think, some really... We have exciting times ahead of us, but also I think some very challenging times for many people that are federal government employees that are on the radar screen like never seen, with Elon Musk being the key guy that's going to possibly make your life worse, or does he make your life better? It's going to be very interesting to see what plays out here. So that's it, everybody. Hope everybody has a blessed day. Stay healthy. Stay strong. God bless.